Okay, so for my project, I did my cultural interview assignment and I decided to interview Marjorie. She is my sister-in-law. And we've actually never met in person because my husband and I got married during COVID and they shut the borders. But she's 22 years old. She is studying biomedicine in Brazil. She's from Manaus, which is right in the heart of the Amazon rainforest. Here's just a little map. You can kind of see the Amazon River goes out to the ocean and then it goes right through Manaus, which is like a big capital city. So that's where she's from, and therefore her culture is Brazilian culture, which is part of Latino culture, but it's very specific. So these are some of the questions that I asked her during the interview. I asked about 15 questions, some pretty basic, like what do you love most about your culture? What do you like least? I asked her about religion, family, like lifestyle, immigrants. I asked her about like education, about visiting Brazil, economy, and then just kind of what some differences that she's seen with American culture versus Brazilian culture. And so some of the main ideas I got from interviewing her, the first point is that Brazilian culture is very actively religious. They really are a faithful people. There are lots and lots of churches like on every street. It's very normal to greet people with like a religious phrase. It's normal to quote scriptures to people, to your neighbors, to, you know, God bless, kind of just to everybody. So they're very outwardly religious and not just kind of private about it. They're pretty open. Another idea is like that family is really important to them. And she actually thinks that like family is more important to Brazilians than to Americans. She's saying that like Americans go off to college and they kind of leave their families. They put their parents in retirement homes. And in Brazil, they really take care of their parents. Putting them in a home is kind of considered like abandonment in Brazil. So that's something interesting that she's telling me about. And then she's just talking about how Brazilians are very open and welcoming and very outgoing. And that's just part of their culture. They will greet everybody. They love to celebrate, just like that last point says, and they have way more holidays than the United States does that they openly celebrate. And then this other point was just that she expressed a little bit of frustration with the way that other countries and cultures perceive them to be. Some people think they're like a Hispanic culture, which, you know, they don't even speak Spanish. Some people think they're like just indigenous people or it's a third world country. And so just going along with this to kind of like end it out, kind of the main ideas that I got from our interview. I kind of asked her, like, what do you think the world thinks of Brazilian culture? And she kind of talked about people just look at like Carnival, Rio, like Indians and soccer. And she's like, and that's pretty much all they think that we are. But she just wanted to make a big point that while these things are part of their culture, Carnival is a big holiday, like Rio is a beautiful tourist point. They do have like indigenous people from the past, not as many today, obviously. And they do love soccer. Brazilians really value the cultural diversity of not just their food, but of their landscape of, you know, you can go from big cities to beautiful beaches and family gatherings, and just having a simple and happy lifestyle with good food is really kind of what she said it's all about. So if you guys have any questions about Brazilian culture, I'd be happy to chat with you. And I was really grateful for Marjorie's time that she spoke with me, and I definitely learned a lot more than I already knew from my husband. So that was really nice to hear someone else's perspective of their country and their culture.